Welcome to the new digital world. I will go through the program we made in Catalan, but in this case speaking in English. So the first thing I want to cover is the virtual currencies or cryptocurrencies that basically are going down. And the thing is that many of them are directly frauds. So it's a good idea to really get well informed before investing. Like in any kind of investment, there are many scams as well. So Engadget covers this new and explains it very well. There are many histories about things that had happened, and many of those cryptocurrencies were frauds. Like they were guaranteeing, supposedly, allegedly, that the money will never be lost because it's stored safe in a bank account. The reality is that they took the money from those bank accounts. So also Bill Gates talks he talks about the NFT, non-fungible tokens, and how those are also in many cases frauds. Not all of them, of course, but the idea behind it's in his words are a sham. So I recommend you to watch it. Okay, another new in this case about Netflix. Netflix has fired 300 employees, mostly in the States. So in the first in the first quarter, Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers, and they lost 700,000 subscribers due to removing their business from Russia. And Netflix has also stated that they believe they will lose 2 million subscribers this quarter. But in other areas they keep contracting, they keep hiring, and they have invested millions in dollars in content. So this new explains it very well. Let me check, because I get messaging live. Okay. So this news is covering what happened. They talk about many things, like they are creating a Squid Game like kind of series with real people, and they explain it very well. If you want to follow this. This is something that is recurrent and happens many times when multinationals let go employees, even if they have millions or tens or hundreds of thousands of millions in profit. So that's something that worries a bit. Also, one Catalan writer, Carme Junyent, wrote an article suggesting to abandon Netflix, so ending your subscription, in case don't provide contents in Catalan, our language. So I think that's a very interesting thing. Why not providing contents in language of your customers? In the case of Catalan, we are like more than 10 million speakers around the world, so contents are created in other language that has less speakers. And the hashtag in Twitter for this was Netflix and Catalan. Okay, another new is the Mars Express satellite from the European Space Agency, which is orbiting around Mars, has received a software update after 19 years. It was launched to the space. So they launched to the space the June of the 2003, and this satellite is responsible of having found the evidence of liquid water in the red planet, and it is expected that this update will allow the ship to provide image with higher resolutions, and also to be able to operate for 5 times more time. And basically, this update allows the mission control to select which information will be kept and which information will be deleted. So this way, the proof has more storage for high resolution and for more data. You can find the information here as well. Nice article. And in science, we have to talk about a giant bacterium that has been discovered, and the thing is that it's visible by the plain eye view. So basically, this can be 1 centimeter in size, and this discovery is defying what is known about the bacteria so far, because it was believed that bacteria cannot be so big, basically because there are chemical components that have to be transported from one place to another of the bacteria, and that it will be like a massive size in order to do this. But the cellular walls of the bacteria seem to have the ability to produce locally the components that they need, so it's not necessary that those components traverse all the bacteria from one place to another. They can be produced on the local walls. So that's a very nice, interesting article, which I recommend you as well. And about entertainment and video games, Doctor Strange was displayed on Disney Plus, Doctor Strange in the Universe of Madness, and I really like it. One of my colleagues preferred the first version, the first movie, but I really enjoyed this one. Okay, then my colleague Keralt was explaining about the new record from a live Twitch transmission, and it was done here in Catalonia, in Barcelona. And
Cal could be coming to live action.
You can see here like the explanations in comic book, and basically it was 3.3 million concurrent views, and that beat the previous record that was from the Grift from 2.4 million. The person that beat this record is named eBay, and it has been a new achievement for this platform from Amazon, from Twitch from Amazon. Okay, and then I want to talk you about an amazing book that I bought, Women in Science, and it's a lovely book that explains about 50 fearless pioneers who changed the world. And the thing is that many women really improved the world in science and technology, and unfortunately this has been like kind of hidden. It's not well known, so I like to talk about these things. Also, I teach programming classes, and many times my female students, they don't know about woman reference in technology or science. And when I start to talk about some of those amazing women that change the history and improve the human standards of life forever, they really like, and it's a good reference. So I want to talk about Barbara McClintock, which was cytogeneticist, which basically is a geneticist which works with plants. And she was born in 1932 in Connecticut, in the States, and then she grew in New York City. And her mother didn't want, but her father always supported her, and she got a PhD in botany from the Cornell University. And she started in 1936, so at 34 years old, she started working in genetics at the University of Missouri. She was very direct and was known to be very, very clever, much more clever than her male peers. And that didn't make feel their male colleagues very comfortable, to be honest. And at that time, she was wearing pants every day, and that was super unthinkable for the men at that time. So it's like a bit old. That feels like a very, very old thing. Like, I would say primitive, or like in the feudalism, I would say. So, but she insisted in wearing pants, and she was really brilliant. But the thing is that she was told that if she ever marries, or if her colleague, because they work together, she and a male colleague, if her colleague leaves the university, the research university, she will be fired. So she didn't both that, and soon she went to look for a decent job, another place, and she went to a research facility in Cold Spring Harbor, and then she started to work with corns, and she planted cornfields, and she started to explore the genetics of the corns, and she was really fascinated by the corn kernels because they have different colors. And after studying them, she realized that the DNA of the corns that have different color, the grains that had different color, had the same DNA. So she figured out something that nobody in that time was even thinking. That she figured out that a gene could jump to a different part of the chromosome to activate or deactivate. So basically, life was able to select which part of the DNA was using in order to render one color or the other of the corn. And that helped to explain how the animals and the people and the plants evolved in reaction with the environment. So that was incredible for that time. And in 1951, she gave a lecture, and it happened that nobody believed her. All the males that were there either didn't believe, or either were not able to understand because their knowledge about genetics was so old, so obsolete compared with Barbara, which was so advanced for their time. And she said something that when you know you are right, you don't care. And after 30 years, finally she received the recognition when she was awarded with the Nobel Prize. So that's a history that I really like. And I hope that you enjoyed this first translated program of the original program, and have a nice day.